mantras of our Lord Sri Aurobindo. Our Lord Sri Aurobindo says, when you see light, that is vision. When you feel light entering into you, that is experience. When light settles in you, when light settles in you and brings illumination and knowledge, that is realization. With always our love and blessings, says our Lord, Sri Aurobindo. Sri Aurobindo's Savitri. Book 3, the Book of the Divine Mother. Canto 3, the House of the Spirit and the New Creation. Page 364. Thought clashes not with thought, and truth with truth. There is no war of right with rival right. There are no stumbling and half-seeing lives, passing from chance to unexpected chance. No suffering of hearts compelled to beat in bodies of the inert inconscience made, armed with the immune occult unsinking fire. The guardians of eternity keep its law forever fixed upon truth's giant base in her magnificent and termless home. There, nature on her dumb spiritual couch, immutably transcendent, knows her source, and to the stir of multitudinous worlds ascends unmoored in a perpetual calm, all causing, all sustaining, and aloof. The witness looks from his unshaken poise, an eye immense regarding all things done, apart, at peace, above creation's stir, immersed in the eternal altitudes. He abode, defended in his shoreless self, companioned only by the all-seeing One. Words of our Lord Sri Aurobindo and our Divine Mother, taken from the compilations of the works of the Divine Works. This is compiled by Mona Sarkar, book Blessings of the Grace. Our Divine Mother talks about Sri Aurobindo's room, our Lord's room, and says, there is the manifestation of the truth. To be in front of his room is to perceive the absolute consciousness. He who knows how to open himself, truly open himself wide and spontaneously, will find his invariable help for everything. It is unbelievable, it is invincible, and all powerful. Do not pretend. In front of him, one has to be straightforward, scrupulously frank, and sincere. One has to simply open oneself to be able to feel his beatitude. Our Divine Mother says, it is extraordinary, the power of His reality. No one could stand and no one could bear it if He reveals Himself in His entirety. That is why I was warning you in advance. Never pretend or make a semblance that you are one of those who have the permission to stand before His room. It vibrates with His presence. Be happy and make of your life a consecration for accomplishing His work here below. It is an exceptional opportunity. Be worthy of it and do not waste time. After a brief silence, our Divine Mother continues to say, what a marvel, what a power, what grandeur. The one who was with us, his power, his force still vibrates in his room. It is a place for meditation and for receiving the vibration of the truth which it emits. It is charged. The presence of Sri Aurobindo is palpably felt by one who is sincere. Our Divine Mother talks about Sri Aurobindo's books and says, it is in the best possible conditions that the students are developing here and they come in contact with this atmosphere of purity, of truth, where the consciousness is charged by the transforming force of progress towards perfection and the divine love which is found nowhere. Even for the cultural and aesthetic development, the refinement of the senses, of the highest degree of virtue, the appreciation of beauty, of sanctity, and of the subtle, the simple life, the spiritual influence, and above all, especially, the presence of the One who's the supreme knowledge, the omniscience from where all emanates, the reality of our existence, truth, beauty, and this manifestation in a perpetual blossoming. He has given us only a fragment of His knowledge, and even that no one can understand. There is the difference being here. He has opened the doors of the delight of this terrestrial existence, which is a mystery. He has revealed to us the truth, its purity, and its totality. He has amassed for us the sublime Ananda, the purifying light with which the atmosphere is fully impregnated. You're breathing it, you are imbibing it, you're absorbing it without knowing this exceptional privilege which is found nowhere. It has even become a part of your existence. However, if the student has the thirst to learn something, I'm sure that one can learn better here than in any part of the world. If one only wants to learn and fill his mind with the true knowledge, the pure idea to think adequately, to deduce, to reason, to understand, to know, to become intelligent, alert, conscious of all that surrounds us, of all that we feel and perceive, in fact, to develop the mental faculties, the vital faculties, the physical faculties, for all things to open oneself towards the heights, in order to develop other faculties which are innate and latent in us, demands an absolute discipline to awaken to a new progress, to become master of ourselves, of the circumstances, and of the world. This is the knowledge to know oneself, and then one becomes master of all. Our Divine Mother talks about other things and says, you must learn to observe all that happens, watch all that takes place, and absorb with equanimity all that has some value for your progress. It is this which is important, always equal. And our Divine Mother makes a horizontal movement with her hand and says, one should not get perturbed or be anxious about the results. Then you will see that things get arranged much better by themselves, and you will get an indication in the quietness of your inner state as well as the answer. If ever something torments you, or you are in difficulty and you do not know what to do, quieten yourself at once and go inwards. Let me repeat. Our Divine Mother says, if ever something torments you or troubles you, or you are in difficulty and you do not know what to do, quieten yourself at once and go inwards. That means you enter within and sincerely ask your inner being, the psychic being, and you will get the answer. Clear and precise like this. It will tell you what is to be done. It will guide you invariably. And our Divine Mother says, and there is also another means which is very effective, and you will succeed each time you ask. Our Divine Mother says, if you are in difficulty or you want an answer, it could be anything. Or if you're not feeling quite at ease, or something is tormenting you, or you had made a mistake which makes you feel uneasy, supposing you become angry and are discontented, which may be very insignificant, quite ordinary, without any value, even for things of which you do not know the cause. If something is not at all right, not as it is or it should be at that time, if you want to get rid of this somewhat unhappy state, come directly to the Samadhi and bow down your head at the Samadhi and speak frankly to Sri Aurobindo all that you have to say without hesitation, without doubt, as you come to tell me. And you have seen so many times that your difficulties have disappeared at once, vanished completely the moment you spoke to me. You got rid of them because I chased them out of you, and you felt yourself free from these negative or even harmful formations, and you felt light because I removed from you this burden and you went back happy. Do you remember? So many times you've told me that. For this, the child says, yes, mother, many times. And then our Divine Mother continues to say, in the same manner, you should tell Sri Aurobindo like this. You should keep your head on the Samadhi, and the Divine Mother bows her head, and you tell him to get rid of your difficulties. Or you send a prayer like this. The mother makes a movement with the hand from the region of the heart upwards, but very sincerely. And you bring the concentration at the very depth of your being. I am sure that He will hear you and He will give you your answer. Our Divine Mother says, without any doubt, you can now communicate easily with our Lord Sri Aurobindo. There are many who put themselves in contact with Him and find their answers. He has become more accessible to us and He is much more active. You see, then this way you don't have to wait first to inform me, then I have to choose a convenient date, a precise time, and also to see if I have the time or not so that I could listen to what you have to tell me and then I would answer. A whole process to be followed before you get the answer. It is long. It takes a long time and a lot of time, and above all, you have to have the patience to wait. But This method is convenient and more direct and more accessible. At any time you can ask, you just come to the Samadhi to have your answer. A Divine Mother says, if something is not right at all, you would like to know the cause, or you want to get rid of the weakness, or get cured, or be cleansed, to have a difficulty removed, in order to be purified, for any answer, come and ask Sri Aurobindo at the Samadhi, and you will have the answer. Not only his answer, but also his blessings, his compassion, his peace, his illumination. You will be engulfed and seized by his love that is all powerful. Once you abandon yourself to him, you will be protected against all mishaps. It is like this, his influence. He reveals himself to all those who are simple, sincere, and humble. He is there, perfectly conscious, and He directs all the activities of the world. When I want to know something, I just ask Him, and at once He answers me. And our Divine Mother says, this does not mean that I forbid you to come to me and ask something. You can always come to me and see me one day, and I shall be there to listen to you and give you any advice. Says our Divine Mother, earlier when Sri Aurobindo was in his physical body, people used to say that he was very far, remote, and inaccessible to men, and that he was not concerned about the affairs of the sadhaks here. It is not correct. For indeed, he used to spend night after night replying to a heap of letters instead of doing his work of uplifting the world and preparing it for the advent of the supramental world. He used to take pains to follow their progress and occupy himself with matters concerning the sadhaks. And yet, he had arranged things in such a way that the sadhaks could communicate directly with me and receive my blessings and my help practically on the physical plane as well as inwardly for the sadhana. Our Divine Mother says it was through me that they could realize the heights of consciousness towards the supramental or surmount any difficulty. At that time, he was preoccupied to gain control, not only to conquer, but to subjugate and master the different worlds, the diverse forces, the diverse powers, and the innumerable states of consciousness that were opposing and standing like an obstacle to our work, the quest towards the supramental. And the mundane affairs were left to me to resolve, and all this was the organization of the ashram, as well as the progress of the individuals and the effort towards the collective yoga. During that period, says our Divine Mother, he had hardly any time to occupy himself with the people or hear their complaints. But now he has universalized himself, become vast, very intimate and close. There is a bond with everyone through a nearness and a direct influence so that everyone can have access to him. Our Divine Mother says it is formidable. His presence vibrates concrete all around the Samadhi, and his influence penetrates and touches the central being and awakens the consciousness to the spiritual life. Even the agnostics, the unbelievers, people of bad will who come out of curiosity to visit the Samadhi, return amazed by a mysterious alchemy and find an inner peace because there he showers his peace, his compassion constantly. It is this that bathes them when they pass before him. It is an unbelievable surcharged activity of his force and his presence. Our Divine Mother says, when I look at the Samadhi and see what is happening there, I was astonished to find this column of dazzling light vibrating with an energy and a transforming force. It rises like this, and our Divine Mother makes an upward movement with the hands, with a splendor and a brilliance like an effusion of light from the length and breadth of the Samadhi. It is the new light materializing. Our Divine Mother says, at night, when everything is quiet, there are some entities who clean up this place of all that the people have left behind, all the formations of falsehood, desires, impatience, supplications, all sorts of complaints, bad wills, and maladies, as well as the hostile forces, and make this place peaceful and pleasant. They purify the whole surrounding with so much of love so that His presence is felt. It is a sanctified place for meditation and not for gossip. Never to speak. One disturbs the atmosphere. He is there with His glorified body, sustaining the entire world in a subtle moment, manifesting gradually His consciousness, partially veiled for the divine descent. Our Divine Mother says, He is the living assurance of our divine possibility, the promise of the divinity radiating with the divine light and the divine power, the progressive march towards the divine manifestation. That is why the whole atmosphere is charged with the divine and sublime peace. You understand? It is He who is there in the divine body, Himself divinized, the representation of the whole humanity. He who, by his own effort, by his tapasya, and by the sadhana that he has done in his body, has made his body glorious. The realization and the experience he has had, what he has accumulated in his body, by this yogic effort has charged his body with a transforming power. It is charged dynamically with a force and a light that overflows. It is that envelops the whole atmosphere. All around, it is His presence. It endures because it is the supramental force and shows no sign of diminishing. It cannot, says our Divine Mother. To be continued.